Howdy folks, this is Big Sam. Welcome back to another quiet evening here in Colorado. Today I wanted to talk to y'all about why I think the next gun you buy should be a Mosin Nagant X Sniper. Now if you're not familiar with what that is, maybe you've at least heard the term, it's actually really simple. It's just like the name implies. It was a sniper rifle that the Russian military decided to convert back to a standard infantry rifle. Usually the easiest way to tell that is you look in here inside the bolt channel and you look for a welded hole or welded holes. So what these are the holes that were originally drilled out to install a scope mount that the Russian military then filled back in and welded it flat, and then converted it back into a regular infantry rifle. Now, why would they have done this? Well, there's a couple reasons. One, a lot of times the guns were just used so much that the accuracy started to fall below the standards that the Soviet military had for sniper rifles. And once that happened, they just converted them back into regular infantry rifles because they were still accurate enough to be used, but they just didn't meet these sniper accuracy standards. That's one reason. Another reason, and this may be the majority of these because it's funny, especially this particular sniper rifle we have here, a lot of ex-snipers have really beautiful bores. The rifling's in really good shape, which doesn't really make a lot of sense why they would have not met the accuracy requirements if they're in such good shape. Well, a lot of these, when they were refurbished, they just didn't really take the precautions and the time to make sure that the gun was well bedded in the stock. So you can imagine, think about how many of these guns were refurbished. Probably millions of these have been refurbished. So you can imagine that they're doing this rather quickly and that they didn't take the time to make sure that the action was shimmed and that there were no really horrible pinch points between the stock and the barrel. So what ended up happening was a lot of suitable rifles that had very good accuracy were refurbished and put into new stocks or what have you, and they just weren't matched well and the accuracy really suffered. And once after that happened, they then said, well, the accuracy is no good. We're just going to remove this and reconvert it back into an infantry rifle. So that's another possibility. The third possibility is just that the amount of sniper rifles would have carried a very high cost, right, of maintenance and upkeep and things like that with the Soviet military, and that they just wanted to reduce how many they had, especially after the war was over. And that makes sense, right? If you're going from a full-on countrywide mobilization against the Nazi war machine to then being really, for all intents and purposes, at peace, you don't need to have as many active sniper rifles on hand. So that may be why we see this here as well. So there's a lot of reasons why we could have an ex-sniper rifle, but these guns are really unique in the market segment today because the amount of ex-snipers that exist is decreasing. And there's not a lot of guns that are in that same category if you think about it, because generally when a gun enters the collector's market, it just tends to stay there. These are different, right? Because what ends up happening a lot of times is collectors will get a hold of one of these, they will re-drill out these holes and convert it back into a sniper rifle, into its original military configuration, okay? And doing this has the community kind of torn. You have two camps. You have one camp over here that says, well, that's its original configuration, and especially in this case, the rifling is so nice, that's the configuration it should be in. Then you have the other camp that says, well, this is the correct military configuration. This is what it was last, so it needs to remain this way. And those two camps will never see eye to eye. But what ends up happening is that first camp gets a hold of these and they re-drill out these holes and then convert it back to a sniper rifle. By doing that, you no longer have an ex-sniper. You have a sniper rifle. So the amount of ex-snipers that have these holes filled in the original military configuration is decreasing as more people are drilling out these holes. And what do we know from economics? Well, they may not teach you this in public education, but it's all about supply and demand, right? As the supply of one thing goes down, right, the price tends to go up, the value tends to go up, assuming the demand doesn't go back down. Well, the way these work is, and I suspect this is how it's going to work with these, the supply of these will go down. There's no question about that, because collectors will continue to re-sniper these, convert these back into sniper rifles. So what I predict that's actually going to do is raise the interest in these rifles, because there's going to be less of these that exist. That will actually further raise the demand, and if the price, if the quantity is going down and the demand is going up, the price is going to go way up. And we've already seen this with ex-sniper prices, at least here in America. They're continuing to go up. So again, this gun is really kind of a unique place. There's not a lot of other guns in this category where there's actually less of them and less of them year after year. So that's really interesting. And I hope you'll consider that when you're looking for your next rifle, because I think this is a really good investment and just a really cool piece of history. This is a real World War II sniper rifle. This one is a 1943 Tula. This is actually the earliest known prefix for PU snipers made by Tula in 1943. So this gun was most likely made around January or February, I would say, as a educated guess. So this one definitely probably saw use, I would say, in World War II, right? At the beginning of 43, and World War II ended in 1945, as we know. So this is a genuine World War II sniper rifle. This was used as a sniper rifle in World War II, and it doesn't really get much cooler than that. This is still a gun you can just take out to the range and enjoy. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like me to put out a whole video in the future on all of the different ways to identify an ex-sniper, put that down in the comments below, because we can definitely do that for you if that's something you're interested in. Because there's a lot of other ways besides just looking for these holes to tell if something was an actual sniper rifle or not. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you'll take these into consideration. These are just a really neat piece of history. Let me know if y'all got any prayer requests, and thanks for watching. I'll see y'all on the next video.